Welcome to my Euro 2021 fantasy pickup. So this is the team that I have managed to select in my lineup so far. Remember that this is only my first draft and I may change the lineup until the deadline, which in my case is 12 June 12:45 a.m. according to my reason. So let's begin. My goalkeeper choice, I am not going to invest much in goalkeeper, but still I need someone who can guarantee me clean sheet. In this case, Lucas Hadrake, though, is an excellent choice for 4 million price tag, and is selected by 34%, does not guarantee you any clean sheet. So that is the reason you gotta have a strong obviously you gotta have a strong keeper in a backup, and that will be Rui Patricio, since Portugal are defensively solid team, and it would guarantee you clean sheets since the first game is against Hungary, and it should be quite easy for Portugal, though clean sheets are not always reliable from goalkeepers. It also depends on the number of saves your keeper makes and his penalty stopping abilities. That is also to be considered. Moving on to defense, John Stones and Leonardo Bonucci. Now the reason why I personally selected these two is that they are it's not for clean sheet, it's for the goal threat that they are through headers, and the attacking threat they individually possess. That would be John Stone, who is defensively solid as well and has been good form recently at Manchester City as well, and Leonardo Bonucci played a very big role in Italy's Euro qualification round. He was also involved in couple of goals with other strikers. And moving on to second two defenders now, in order to compromise for the forwards, I had to drop down on the price. So I only have 5 million defender who could offer me a better value. That would be Vladimir Kofual. Czech Republic are facing Scotland, who perhaps are a little bit easy side for Czech Republic, but that doesn't really mean Scotland will surely lose this game. They might also produce some wonderful performance or some kind of comeback, but there is still a chance that Czech Republic will keep some clean sheet. And lastly, I have Owen Wijnaldum, who looks to be another popular choice from Holland because of his price tag. Yep, most fantasy players are now beginning to select him because of the value he offers, and there is likely good chances that he will be in the lineup. But it is to note that this lineup choices that I have made is because in most of our strategy is to use limitless wildcard in the second game week. Remember that this first game week is unlimited transfer, so we can select anyone freely we think will provide some value, but we have to be very cautious about match day 2, which is on 16th June. And during this time, most fantasy players are obviously going to use limitless, so we have to be often be conscious about the players who are going to perform or not. So that will matter your fantasy's future as well, the points that you get. So moving on to midfield now, the most underrated choice is Bernardo Silva for Portugal. Although players would prefer Diogo Jota in midfield, I would personally select Bernardo Silva because he is much of a utility player, and partnering with Cristiano Ronaldo in forward means there is big chances that Bernardo Silva is likely to get into goals. Ronaldo, though, is involved more in assist, judging by his previous record in Euros. And another thing about Jota is that he is likely to often get rotated with João Felix, so that makes Bernardo Silva my personal choice from Portugal. And our second choice in midfield, it's Chiesa, because he had a good season with Juventus and is selected by 21% player, mainly due to his price tag and his goal scoring ability. So yes, Italy have first game week against Turkey, and if Chiesa manages to score more than one, then he is obviously remaining my captain for the rest of this match day 1. Otherwise, I will transfer my captaincy to either Ronaldo, Kane or Lukaku, depending on who's likely to get points. And my third choice, another underrated choice, is Granit Xhaka. Though Switzerland has Wales, and Switzerland might be a team who might produce something good. Saka is somewhat always seen involved in either goal and assist for Switzerland, so that makes him another top choice over the forward Sakiri. Saka plays more of a attacking role in Switzerland as well, so there is a slight chance that he's at least going to grab an assist or a goal. But it's a gamble, literally it's a gamble. So now moving on to forward, we have three big names in forward, so there is no need to be so obvious why I selected, because they would of course guarantee you points. Ronaldo, of course, Portugal have a game with Hungary, and there is likely chances that Ronaldo will get 2 goals or at least 2 assists. And moving on, Harry Kane, England's #1 choice and the #1 forward choice of fantasy players as well. Kane would also be a big threat for any opponents, and this would increase England's chances of going through the finals. Yep, England have a pretty strong squad this time, but it all depends on team cohesion, right? And our third choice, Lukaku, Romelu Lukaku, is also selected by 41%. In place of Lukaku, you may want to select other Belgium names, because you have a midfielder like Kevin De Bruyne, who is actively able to produce goals, produce assists, create chances. But on the straight line, you see Romelu Lukaku grabbing goals. If De Bruyne manages to create key passes or create good chances, then it will always be Lukaku who is getting on the score sheet. That's the reason he's selected by 41% of the players. Moving on to our bench, we already discussed about Rui Patricio. Now let us discuss about David Alaba. Though he is a decent choice for the price tag of 5.5 million, he is still Austria's playmaker and a key player. So Austria, they're playing North Macedonia, should be a pretty good fixture for Austria, though it's not guaranteed what will be the score. I'm not trying to say that North Macedonia will lose this game, but Alaba has a pretty good chances of at least grabbing an assist, and he could go into some replacement later on. If one of this midfielder doesn't grab any point, then I would still gamble on Alaba. So moving on to our second, we have Baden Act from Poland, who is another obvious choice in defense for his price tag. Poland might also be involved in some of the clean sheet, but one of the game is against Spain, and that could be pretty tough for them. Another game is also against Sweden. So in the first game week, there is a pretty good chance that Poland could grab a clean sheet, and I would only sub him if one of these defenders don't get any points. And lastly, our choice is Logic Neo. Though 45% selection for that price tag, I don't really think Hungary will be keeping clean sheet throughout the game, and we were likely to use limitless and further wildcards in other game week, in the future game week I mean. Hungary, they are in a group of death literally, and their chances of qualifying to the knockouts are pretty low because of their opponents, Germany, France and Portugal. Though this is literally group of death, and Hungary will expect a tough competition, so that would make them cautious, though that is only my opinion. So this was all about my team. If you have any other suggestions, then please leave a comment, and make sure to like this video if you don't even know what to do. Also make sure to subscribe to my channel. I'll be making more videos about team selection in future. As I told you that this is only my first draft, I will change few teams, few names as time goes on. So thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned.